This week we're seeing more stripers flood into the California Delta. There's been an increase in the striper catch. Largemouth bass, it's been a late spawn. We're hoping that changes real quick, but so far this week it has been a tough largemouth bass fishery. With that being said, I want to really concentrate on the Delta. So as we get into this report, I'll go through the news real quick. We'll give you a short report on Clear Lake. Then we're going to jump right into the California Delta and what's going on with the stripers and largemouth bass. So let's take a look at a few pictures, then we'll get into the report. Hey everyone, thanks for joining me. You are watching In Deep on the Delta. This is the fishing report for March 19th. Let's get into this river business, then we'll get into the reports. This Saturday, March 21st, we've got the Central Valley Tackle Swap Meet. I've been talking about this for a month or so. It's going to be a big one. Modesto, 1000 Kansas Avenue. That's going to be, again, this Saturday, March 21st, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. I'm going to be out there at the Cast for a Cause booth. So if you guys are out there, I'd really appreciate seeing you guys come on by and say hello. I'd love to talk to you. If you have any questions, call Steve at 209-402-1764. See you guys out there this week. We also have the week after. This is going to be Sunday, March 29th. Real Custom Boat Works, the Coast Guard vessel inspection, and they are also going to have a fisherman's swap meet. Jim has put me in charge of setting you guys up that are coming out to sell stuff. So if you see me out in the parking lot out there, just come up and say, hey, where do I set my booth up? We're going to be setting up out in the parking lot behind Paradise Point launch ramp, and they will be doing the vessel inspections and the fisherman swap meet at the same time. If you have any questions, call Jim at 209-915-9880. A couple swap meets coming up, so you guys that have stuff to get rid of or you're looking to buy something, make sure you get out. Don't go to one of them, go to both of them. If you see me there, say hi. Got something new here, 2026 Channel Cat Classic. That's at Clear Lake, April 25th and 26th, a Channel Cat tournament. Check this out. First prize guaranteed $8,000. So if you're a catfish guy and you want to get into a tournament situation, head up to the Channel Cat Classic. Again, April 25th and 26th. Guaranteed $8,000 first prize. If you need any information on that, you can look up channelcatclassic.com. That has all the information you need. Also, here's something a little different. Lake Oroville. They're going to have what they call the bug toss. This is going to be a fly fishing only bass tournament. That's going to be March 28th and 29th. So all you fly guys, if you want to get into a friendly competition, check out the bug toss. You can get all your information at www.bugtoss.com, or you can call Ryan Williams at 707-365-9891. Let's get into what's going on up at Clear Lake, and then we'll get into the Delta. Clear Lake, it's fishing very well. I'm not going to talk about tournaments this weekend. This week. I'm going to talk about what the common guy, the guy that's going up, non-tournament angler, what you should be looking for if you go up there just to have a good time. And I talked to Nino Spella, who's one of the excellent employees up there at Clear Lake Outdoors. Nino's the guy with the big afro. Not only an employee, a very good fisherman, a very nice guy, and he will give you all the information you need. Great guy to talk to, and you'll enjoy talking with Nino. Just a great guy and a great guy to talk to. So if you go up there, talk to Nino. What Nino's been doing is going out and just having a blast. He's catching fish up to 6-7 pounds. He's catching a lot of fish. I had to stop him before he got any further. I said, Nino, are you having to use forward-facing sonar? He said, no, I've turned it off. That's it for me for the summer. I'm going out, I'm just fishing, and he's having great luck. So good news for you guys that are going out that are not forward-facing sonar guys. Nino is throwing A-rigs and he's throwing trash fish. He's fishing docks, he's fishing points, he's just old-time fishing and having a great time. He's saying that the mornings have been a little slow, but as the sun comes up, everything perks up. If you're running the bank, you can throw jerk baits, get good numbers of fish, A-rigs. If you want to fish shallow, you're finding rock, your points, things like that, you can throw plastics and do very well. You may not get a 40-pound bag, but it is very, very possible to get a 20 to 25-pound bag, and with any luck, you might even pull a 30-pound bag. Now, if you're looking for a behemoth, those double-digit fish, the 10 to 12 pounders that have been coming out every weekend, get out early. You guys know what's up there. They're community holes. You got to get in one of those spots. The fish, the big fish, are all congregating into these areas that creek channels and things where they're going to go in and spawn. You just got to get out there. You got to play the game. Throw your big baits. I don't care if there's 5 boats, 10 boats, 20 boats. You're going to catch fish. Somebody's going to catch fish in there, and you got to be in the mix if you want to play that game. So with that, if you have any questions, get up there, talk to the folks out at Clear Lake Outdoors, and if you get a chance, go and say hi to Nino for me. All right, what's going on here in the California Delta? I've got water temperatures up to 65 degrees. Most people are reporting 62 to 64 degree water temps. We're going to have 80-degree weather, 90-degree weather coming up. So by the time you guys get out here on the weekend, it's probably going to be 65 plus degree water temps. Clarity is good in the central delta. I'll say 4 to 6 feet. I am getting reports from, around the edges of anywhere from 1 to 2 feet of visibility. You just got to run around to find that clean water a little bit. But everything is looking pretty good here. Let's start off with stripers. Last week we talked to Jeff Suhu. I said, Jeff, what's it going to take for all these stripers in the bay, Sassoon, Grizzly, to move into the delta? He said warmer water temps. Well, we have warmer water temps, and we have seen more fish flush into the system. There is a good class of fish. Talk with Joey Price. I'm going to talk more about what Joey's been doing in just a minute. But Joey Price, Steve Louis has been out there. You guys know Steve. He's on Instagram all the time. He is primarily a striper guy. He's starting to pick up a lot of fish out here. A good class of fish. A lot of fish in the 8 to 10 pound class. They look very clean. They are very healthy. Most of the fish are still farther west. They are getting fish up and down the Sacramento, all the way up, into the channel, the Sacramento Channel, up around, up past Liberty and up in there. There are fish up that way, but they really haven't flooded into, I'll say, the central delta here around Paradise Point. If you're going to fish the delta, probably from Eddowes out, or you want to stay around Frank's Track, look for that moving water. You can catch fish, obviously, drifting live bait, but a lot of guys now, a lot of the bass guys are starting to catch a lot more fish in their coincidental catch, which is going to lead me to Joey Price, Priceless Fishing. He has been out and he is experiencing good multi-species trips. So if you're looking to go out on a multi-species trip, I would suggest giving Joey a call from Priceless Fishing. You can go out and fish for stripers a little bit, depending on the tide. Then you can go out and fish for largemouth bass. Joey is a guy that's going to go out and he's going to be chucking baits, artificials. If you're looking to catch a lot of fish, you're not an artificial bait guy. You're not good with the bait caster, whatever. You want to do some live bait drifting. That's when you want to call Jeff Suhu. He'll take you out. He usually fishes a little farther out west, catches a lot of fish live bait. You'll have a good time on either boat. But with that, the stripers are coming in, and this is the time of year to go out and do a multi-species trip. So back to Joey Price from Priceless Fishing. Joey is saying that although the stripers are coming in, he's getting more and more stripers, that the bass bite has been a grind. He's catching fish, but he's having to really work for it. And Joey is saying that it seems like the central delta is tough. The north, the south, the farther out west you go, the better fishing it is. And I think there's a reason for that, and I'm going to drift off course here just a little bit before we get into the largemouth bass situation, because what I'm about to say is going to give you guys that have been out here scratching your head why things aren't going at least as planned here in the Central Delta. One of the big problems that everybody's been talking about the last couple weeks is I can't find clean vegetation. The water's fine, you can find clean enough water, just can't find clean vegetation, a lot of dirty vegetation. Here's the situation. That's because we have not had a flush here on the Delta. Our weather patterns are changing. When we get rain now in the winter, it happens, 90% of our rain happens in maybe 2 or 3 little drenches, you know, a 1 or 2 day drench. The water comes down from the mountains, everything drains into, pushes into the Delta, and then the rain stops and we don't get that good flush. So what happens is all the nutrients, all the particulates, the dirt flushes in, gets in the Delta. We don't have the tide. All those thousands of millions of tons of dirty particulates settle onto the vegetation, and that's what we're seeing. Is this good? No. The vegetation is still alive. It looks very dirty. If you go down there and shake it, you'll see that a lot of it is clean and growing. That can only take place for so long before it does have an effect on the vegetation where we can have some bacterial problems or whatever it causes. I'm not a biologist, but I can tell you that as you kind of know that all of these particulates that are filtering down onto the vegetation, that's why it's brown. Also, we have farmers that are pumping off of the islands, trying to keep the islands from flooding. They pump that dirty water, which is all peat and peat moss and things like that, back into the Delta. A lot of dirty, nasty water is settling down on that vegetation. We're just not getting a good, clean flow. Here is where it pertains to the fishermen. You have got to move around to find not just the clean water, but you have to find the clean vegetation. Where are you going to find the clean vegetation? It's anybody's guess. You've got to move, move, move. But if you look at cuts in between islands, maybe out around Frank's Track where you have a lot of water movement, that will clean out the vegetation. If you look around island points, look around any type of point or any type of bend that gets a little more water flow, that is going to help flush and clean that vegetation. Now, it is extremely difficult to find. You can go to a lot of these places I just talked about and it hasn't cleaned the vegetation. I've been running around all over. I've finally found a few areas that have some clean vegetation, and when I find those areas, I can see fish there. This is the first week that I have actually seen some big females coming in to these cleaner areas where there's cleaner bottom, and clean vegetation also means cleaner bottom. Cleaner bottom means that's where they're going to spawn. That's where all the bucks are moving to. That's where all the females are moving to. So take that and move around a little bit more till you find that clean bottom. What you are going to find is, number one, all the reports I have been getting, everybody has been struggling. And I want to caution people that might be scouring the internet and they see somebody on Instagram or somebody put up a video that goes out on any given day and talks about how well they did. That's great. I don't think any of these people are lying. And obviously they're catching fish because some of these fish are on camera, but that is not the norm out here. The norm is grind, grind, grind. Everybody has been grinding. There has not been a great reaction bite. Most people are catching them on worms, slow-moving worms and smaller worms. There has been a little bit of a frog bite. I've been out both in the morning for the AM light change and for the PM light change. There has been literally no topwater bite for me. I've caught one fish in my 2 sessions, throwing poppers and smaller baits. So it's not worth coming out super early or super late. Tide related, everything, most things are around the high related outgo tide, but I've got a lot of reports from guys having sporadic luck at low tide. So with that, you just have to be out here. You have to find the right area at the right time, the clean vegetation at the right tide with the right bait, and you have a chance of catching some fish. There are a lot of bucks being caught. The bigger fish aren't really coming in. Every now and then somebody finds an area that they catch a couple of big fish, but again, it's a very short bite window. Another thing I'll throw in real quick is, as I was talking to Joey Price, Joey was telling me, he says, you know, Steve, I'm getting my bass not on Delta gear, but on finesse gear. And man, when he said that, I said, that's the same thing that I'm doing. I'm catching most of my fish on spinning gear with light line, 8 to 10 pound tests. And for me, the only reason that I changed because my son Nathan went up to Maloney's. By the way, Maloney's is fishing very well. I also talked to Rob Cloutier. He was up at Barry S. I had a little family time up there. He's saying that Barry S. is fishing very well. But anyhow, my son Nate was up at Maloney's. He switched over all of my spinning gear to light tackle stuff, put it back in the boat unbeknownst to me, and when I got out the other day, I had about a 4-hour window where I wasn't catching a bite. I looked down at his spinning rods. He had some robo worms on light tackle. I picked one up, and within 5 minutes I started catching fish. Now, I don't know if it was because of the light tackle, the smaller worms, whatever it was, but I started catching fish on the light gear, and I've stuck with that ever since. Now, I've lost 2 big fish, 100% because I was fishing 8-pound fluorocarbon. I broke knots off at the hook. I could not control those fish. I couldn't pull them out of the areas that they needed to be pulled out. With that being said, I'd rather have loved and lost than never loved at all. So I am still throwing those spinning rods. I bumped up my leader to 10 and 12 pound test line. I'm using robo worms, and I'm using them either unweighted or slightly weighted. The other worm I'm using is a 5-inch Cinco, mostly green pumpkin. Those are the things that are doing it for me, and I know they'll do it for you, but you've just got to put those things into the base of tules and fish. Make your cast and just try to keep your confidence. I'm expecting this place to break open any day, and not soon enough, but it's going to break open. So with that, I want to thank you guys for watching. If you get out and you have a report, send it to scooper956-1032, and go out and have some fun and be safe. We'll see you guys on the river.